Hello there, Stephen Dean speaking. I was reading my copy of A Course in Miracles this morning and I came across this passage regarding hell, which I found very interesting because it's something that it simplifies its meaning down, and I always look for something like that. When I find a passage in ACIM that simplifies things in paradox to its usual convoluted message, I'm always very pleased to find it and talk about it. Anyway, this particular passage is: the concept of the self stands like a shield, a silent barricade before the truth, and hides it from your sight. Like the self, or our ego if you like, what we believe ourselves to be and what we believe our lives to be and what we believe goes on in our life, what we call ourself, stands in the way of truth because it isn't real. Our self, as I understand it at least, or as ACIM tells me to understand it, or as I've learned from ACIM, the self is merely what we think we are. What oneself thinks oneself is, if you like. Anyway, to carry on. And it is this self that blocks off truth. All things you see are images because you look at them as though through a barrier, the self, that dims your sight and warps your vision so that you behold nothing with clarity. You see, it's like a veil over everything. And this veil is our own beliefs about what's going on. Well, really, there's nothing going on except perfect love. It's so simple, you know, and the beautiful thing about it all is we're getting closer and closer to it, everybody. Wonderful. Anyway, to continue, the light is kept from everything you see. At most, you glimpse a shadow of what lies beyond. At most, you glimpse a shadow of what lies beyond. You know, just a shadow. That sudden glimpse of truth of what lies beyond. You know, that magic moments of happiness you suddenly get. That glimpse, that's what he's referring to. At least you merely look on darkness and perceive the terrified imaginings that come from guilty thoughts and concepts born of fear. That's memories of the past. Know your negative thoughts about the past. And what you see is hell, for fear is hell. Yeah. Fear is not a land of burning sulphur and horned beings standing around with forks. Fear is hell. And fear is born out of guilt. And guilt is the opposite of love. Because here in this existence, everything has to have an opposite. Whereas in reality, love is all there is and it has no opposite. Here, it has to have one. The nature of the dream, the illusion, the nature of separation, the nature of it separated and perfect opposites demands that love has an opposite, even though it doesn't really exist. That's why we only experience it here, because it doesn't exist in reality. And that opposite is guilt, which we suffer every time we slip back into the past. Not every time we got a happy memory, fantastic, because we can alight to that. Love is happiness. It's those damn negative ones. Anyway, but they are hell. And hell isn't real. And anything to do with hell isn't real. Only love is real. So next time guilt takes you to hell, remember, as best you can, you're in the land of the unreal. Only love is real. And it'll be out there at the end. And it'll be there for everybody. Okay, thanks very much. I'll see you.